In future, I'm to be informed at once if there's any change in the ship's speed.
I'm sorry, sir, but it was only 2 knots.
Yes, well, nobody ordered it.
No, it's probably just a computer, sir.
Well, there's one very easy way of finding out. Switch to manuals. Use the engine room telegraphs. If the speed doesn't hold steady then, they're up a gum tree downstairs. I'll be in my day cabin.
Aye, aye, sir. Bridge to engine room and reactor control room. We are now on manual control.
Aye, aye, sir. We're on the telegraphs.
Understood. Reactor is now under our direct control.
Sir. The speed picking up so artfully like. As if it knew that nobody noticed. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, I do. Bridge here. Anderson speaking.
The captain there.
He just left here, Chief. He's in his day cabin.
Well, you better deal with this and inform him. Look, since you changed over to non-automatic control, a very strange thing has happened.
Yes?
Well, it's the steam pressure. It's gone up considerably. You still want to keep the speed down to 36 knots?
Well, those are my orders, Chief.
I understand that. Won't be able to hold it down much longer.
Well, why don't you blow off more steam?
We've got the four main release valves flat open already.
What about opening the main steam cocks by the reactor?
We'll try to do that now.
Oh, try.
Well, it won't shift at the moment. Apparently the reactor has overheated a bit. And the cocks have seized. But I've got the boys working on them now.
Wanted on the bridge, sir.
I shouldn't worry too much, sir. We can always shut down the reactor.
Yes.
Pity if we had to, though. The breakdown on our maiden voyage, we'd never hear the last of it.
No.
39 knots. We're going faster.
The turbines won't take much more. If the Chief can't open those cocks pretty soon, we'll have to stop the ship.
Supposing we can't.
Emily?
What's the time, Richard?
Or a few minutes after 2.
Well, that's a heck of a time to start a conversation.
Certainly licking along, Emily. You hear those engines vibrations?
Yes, dear. May I go back to sleep?
Yeah, you do that. Darn it, I wish I could.
Darling, what is it?
Well, it's
Come on, I know that voice. What's wrong?
this guy Hollander. I was talking to him last night. Oh, probably nothing.
Oh, Richard, go on.
It's just that I asked him where he was headed for in the United States. He said he wasn't going anywhere. Something about the voyage being more important than the destination.
Oh, he's just an intense young man.
Yeah, you're probably right. Just the same, I wish I knew what he meant.
Section Y.
Well, who opened the hatch?
Mrs. Bollinger.
What?
My
Mrs.
God.
Bollinger?
Yes. She did it without knowing. You remember the great conducted tour? Now, don't you remember she pressed some of these buttons?
Yes, but the panel was dead.
It wasn't, you know. Don't you remember I asked you what brought this panel into operation?
Yes, and you guessed right. It comes into play when the reactor's overrunning.
And then on the catwalk I asked you about surges.
Yes, I remember. What's that got to do with it?
I think you'll find if you check the control room log that you had a surge yesterday. A neutron surge.
Oh, wait a minute.
During a surge,
yes.
The reactor is overrunning. It's only for a moment, but...
But long enough for this panel to come live.
Yeah.
So that when Mrs. Bollinger pressed those buttons...
Reactor control.
Roman speaking.
Look, Tony, is it important? We've got problems.
Yes, Peter, it is important. When was the last surge?
I'll check.
What time was it when Mrs. Bollinger pressed those buttons?
At 12?
No, a bit before. The ship's siren sounded for noon just after I left you
Yes.
here.
There was a high-activity surge yesterday at 11:55 hours.
5 to 12.
Tell them to shut down.
What was that?
I haven't the authority.
Look, what are they waiting for?
Peter, you've got to shut
In
down.
that case with you?
If you don't shut down now, it may be too late.
The captain's orders were to damp the reactor so we could lose speed. This we are doing.
Then call the bridge.
All right, Tony, but just for you.
So Mrs. Bollinger pressed two buttons. These two. She opened the hatch and shifted the reflectors. And the next thing that happened was you noticed a rise in neutron activity over section Y.
Yes, but why did it drop back again? You see, it was reading 0 by the time I tried to show Sullivan.
It's a safety device. If you don't keep your finger on the hatch button, it closes itself after a time